Turn the car around. Get the hell out of here.
Why would he want me to put his hat on? Maybe he wants you to. Maybe he wants me to what? To get confused.
Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. We're back.
Welcome.
Little small hiatus with Thanksgiving, but here we are.
Yes.
With Secret Window today.
Yes, Johnny Depp, 2004 Secret Window. This has Johnny Depp, John Turturro, who I absolutely freaking love. Maria Bello, Charles S. Dutton, Timothy Hutton. See, it's funny. I've seen this movie so many times, and I'm just like, I don't even need to watch it.
Like,
solely because Johnny Depp looks amazing in this movie.
He's definitely got the rocker hair look going on.
Fucking good. I'm just like, I don't even know what this movie's about. I'm kidding, I do. This was based off a really little tiny short story that was part of, you're going to have to help me out. My brain is so foggy. Well, I found it to be interesting because a lot of people don't like Stephen King. I like Stephen King because he's very detailed and he really paints a picture for me, from my perspective. But the movie is just so much better. And usually people always say it's the flip flop, which I can see.
Yeah,
So,
I did not read the short story. I knew that it was a short story. I just haven't read it. But
yeah.
I assume with it being a short story and this being an hour and a half long movie, I feel like they're either expanding on things that were in the short story or taking their sweet time to, like, maybe he wrote through it quicker than what we're seeing. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel that the story was very... I mean, it's a short story. It's not going to be as detailed as his novels, and I get that. But it just wasn't, it didn't grab me the way that this film grabbed my attention. You know, I trailed off, and I read it years ago because, like, at night I'm like, oh, I'm so awake, I can't sleep. So that was, I like to read scary stories. But that one of them, I don't know. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I had seen the movie first, so I'm like, oh, I got a clear idea of what's going on. It's okay. It's a short because I got this.
Right.
But it just wasn't one of my favorites.
And one of those few times that the movie surpasses the story.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't very often.
No, it doesn't. And I was surprised because I thought that and I have read Stephen King short stories and they were quite good for short stories. But this one, I don't know, it just missed the mark of, I don't know, it just wasn't good. So we need to fill people in who haven't seen it.
So, I mean, yeah, of course. Always spoilers ahead, guys. Everyone should know that by now. But it starts off, he catches his wife cheating. And it just flashes to like 6 months later.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sleeping on the couch in his, cottage, I guess? Cabin?
Cabin by the lake.
Yeah. With the secret window and the secret garden.
I like that, though. I like that. That, to me, I don't know, the way that she finds that, and she's like, oh, I could put my garden right over there. It's such a mental fuckery, because it's like, oh, he's going to bury her there. That's just what I thought initially watching that for the first time. I'm like, bury that bitch there, I don't know. And then it turned out to be like, oh, okay.
It's very kind of like, I think they purposely try to make it obvious at the beginning like that. Like, that's the omen, so to speak. Like, this is foreshadowing things to come. She's talking about it. She's looking down on it. Yeah, you looking down on it because you're going to be there soon. Like,
you're going to be in the garden, honey. But it's funny because, like, I never even, like, first watching it, I initially watched this and I'm like, wow, he looks really good. Okay, I'll watch this. And then Josh Turturro is like, oh my God, I love him.
Woo! You got a day Wednesday, baby.
And then I was sitting there, I'm like, bitch, bury your ass there. And then it turns out that it's like, what? I was like,
sorry.
Okay, that's the first time I was ever writing a movie.
He looks down at that. Guess what that secret garden is now? That's his little mini cornfield. He's eaten corn that's grown from their decomposing bodies.
Why we find that funny is I find it funny. I do. I'm just like
it's like the irony, you know?
I don't know. There's so many little just swift kicks to the nuts in that movie. I feel.
Miss Rainey, are you all right?
I'm sorry, my throat just kind of double-clutched on me there for a second.
You're very pale.
Yeah, thank you.
There's it's just...
How in the hell did a big money scribbling asshole like you get down to a little shit splat town in Mississippi?
I kind of felt it was straightforward. I didn't think that Johnny Depp had somebody after him. I kind of felt like he was a little nuts, but I didn't. Right. I wasn't 100% sure on it.
Right.
But I don't know. The Easter eggs. It's for you. I could see how it's like off kilter because it's not like full on.
Yeah, they're very, very, very small, subtle hints that are almost. You almost don't even notice them.
Right, because they're so subtle.
Like when he went into the diner when he was an hour late to meet the bodyguard guy and the townfolk guy in the truck that drove by him and waved to him. Right. When he went in there and he was like saying, "Did anyone look for me or come in asking for me?" They kind of gave him a weird look, but not really. Knowing saying you were in here an hour ago, and you left with so and so. They didn't say that, and they didn't really look at him like that, but they did a little bit. And the only thing that gave it away a little bit was the guy offered him a pack of smokes. Because here's the other thing: every time you see him with that pack of smokes that he scrambles for and looks for, always has one cigarette in it. And he lights that cigarette. And then the next time you see that pack again, it's crumpled up with one cigarette left in it.
Huh.
That means his alter has been smoking the entire pack and always leaving him one cigarette.
I didn't notice that.
Little like that. I think the only thing that really I noticed in the entire movie as being like an Easter egg to, and maybe it was just coincidence. I don't know, but I felt like that was a point.
I think that's a good point. Never noticed it though.
Yeah.
Because I think that a lot of women watch it just to see him and he looks good.
I'm not looking at, oh, he has one smoke left in the pack. Oh, he has one smoke left in the pack. Oh, he has one smoke left in the pack.
It's like, oh, he's wearing a hat right now. Oh, he looks good with glasses. Oh, but I don't know. And I wasn't even serious about it.
And that's the thing though, even though it's predictable, it's still enjoyable.
Yeah, I think that's because the direction and the cast. Yeah, like I said, I've watched this movie so many damn times, but it's something that I enjoy and I can have it on as background if I needed it. So right. I don't know. I just find that it's kind of different of Johnny Depp to do something so mental like that. Yeah. Yeah. So I appreciated that.
Villain unless it was Sweeney Todd, but that's completely
that's like a cutesy because it's musical. It's not really
right. Exactly. So but this is more of an absolute serious. I love his confusion throughout the entire beginning. Him trying to figure this stuff out.
Turn around.
Not realizing it's him. But then when that realization comes in, he plays that other part so well. Like when he puts on the hat and becomes that other character.
It's mine. Wasn't ever anybody else's.
And she's like, "Is that the hat we got? It's always been mine."
Yeah. I swear the whole thing. Okay. So throughout the movie, he's trying to cope with all these crazy things happening. He gets a divorce. Well, he finds out his wife is cheating on him. Then they get a divorce. They're in the middle of a divorce. Then someone kills his dog. Then someone burns down the damn house that he was living in. So it's like all these crazy things going on, but he still sticks through it. And it's like, how could you keep your sanity going through all that? But he doesn't.
Right.
We don't know that he doesn't yet, though.
That's right. That's
and
right.
I like the fact that that one scene where he finds the two dead bodies in the Bronco.
Yeah.
And then he tries to like push it off the cliff and his watch gets stuck.
Yeah.
What a nail biter that was. I was impressed for a movie from 2004 still having that amount of like grit in it. Go, oh my God, like it actually held that feeling.
Right. Yeah.
I was proud of that. But that's one of my favorite parts in the movie because it's so gripping.
He still doesn't realize it's him. And then when he goes in the house and when all that goes down and he finds out that it's been him this whole time, then it flashes outside and hits the ground and shows all the article pieces floating on the ground right by his car. And you're like, see, he opened it up and the other like
personality
and cut out the pages and then swap back to him so that he could see that the pages were gone. Like, it's almost like the alter ego was fucking with him at the same time as doing what he wanted to, actually happen.
Right. And I like that. I like the fuckery between his normal state of mind and then his multiple, personality.
Yeah.
It's so great because even when towards the end of the film, when you realize that he's doing it to himself and he's like, rah, rah.
There is no John.
I didn't kill anybody.
He wanted to. There never has. Hinted him.
He's like freaking out and he has like a jaw. It's like, it's so awesome. I'm like, when you see somebody unravel like that,
yeah,
that is acting. Like, that was cool. I thought it.
It also reminds me of like the end of Fight Club when he comes to the realization that Tyler Durden is him. It's a persona, another,
right,
kind of him, but not him. Everything he wants to be and wants to do, but can't. And that's what the same thing in this movie, I think, is like Johnny Depp. His character wants to do these things, but he can't bring himself to do it. So he created this alter ego that could do it.
Yeah.
And the alter is trying to like snap him out because he wants him to like allow the ending to happen the way he wants the ending to happen. That because they keep going back about the story, and you got to fix my ending. The ending has to be perfect, and that was the perfect ending, which segues me. Okay, the funniest and most ridiculous, and dare I say corny. Now you'll see why this pun makes sense in a moment. Scene in the entire movie is that very last scene where he's holding up that ear of corn and he just takes a bite. Done.
I know.
Corny.
But it's so funny because it's so whacked out. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, it's so corny, it makes it good because it's corn, it's corny, and the last, the line he says, is he takes another ear of corn and blah blah blah. I can do it.
Steaming bowl. Yeah, there's a lot of parts that I like in this movie, and I think that it really held like a creepy factor throughout it. It's like, man, is there somebody following him? Like, or is he just fucking nuts? But the only question that I would like to know, and I don't know if it's ever been discussed, is when did he go crazy? Was it when he caught his wife, or was it before then and then she decided to fool around with this guy because Mort was actually crazy and she saw it.
Well, I think what forced her, like, from what I gather, because she talked about him drinking and stuff, and I'll get to this other part in a moment, which makes me believe this, that he was drinking a lot while writing like Secret Window and some other stories that he wrote, and she got fed up because he was probably like alienating her, and that's why she cheated on him, and then he catches her. And then he says he sobers up to probably try to fix the relationship. Doesn't work. 6 months go by, and he's still saying he's not drinking. But when she goes to the cabin and sees his couch with the cigarettes, the ashtray, and there's a bottle of Jack Daniels there that's almost empty, it means he was drinking this whole time. We just weren't seeing it. Which means he probably quit for a bit and then started drinking again, and then that's when his like mentality split, because he was, living by himself out in the middle of, the woods. The only person that ever came to see him was his the girl that cleaned the cabin, and he didn't even like her there, from what I gathered, because he was even hiding his smoking from her.
Look at that. He's like, Chico, should I kill her?
Chico, don't be discouraged.
If I were king of the forest.
You go bite her, or I'm gonna kill her.
If you don't kill her, I'm gonna kill her. and at that point, I'm like, no, he's not nuts. He's just kidding, right? And then if I don't, no, he's fucking nuts. And then when everything falls together and that door just, the way it just it just slides back and he just picks up his head with that hat on. That is creepy.
She's so confused to what's going on, but she knows something bad's about to happen because clearly not himself. You can see it.
We're looking for recommendations for any scary Christmas movie, because 'tis the season to be scary. Okay, so not really sure which movie to do for the next episode, but we were hoping we could get some influence from you guys in the comments, giving us recommendations for any type of scary Christmas movies. Christmas horror, and I haven't seen a lot of them, so this is going to be a new experience, at least for me.
I watched many myself, so it will be brand new, I think, for both of us, which will be a lot of fun to dissect these movies.
You guys' comments, your recommendations. So hopefully we will get a bunch of, cool movies on here, and then we can get like guests to speak in on it. If you're lucky enough.